Representative Roy.
I thank the chairman. Thank you for holding this hearing and allowing us to give us the time to testify this morning. As many of you know, I represent Texas 21, Austin, San Antonio. The southwest edge of Texas 21 is about 95 miles from the border of Mexico. I've toured facilities multiple times in my career as a lawyer for the Senate Judiciary Committee, as a federal prosecutor, as a staffer for Governor Perry, as the first assistant attorney general, and now as a congressman. I've been to the border multiple times, and it didn't just come recently putting on a show in front of fences for the media. It's come over a career of trying to figure out how to secure the border and do our job. My chief of staff went to the border this last Saturday, down to Clint, to go to the facility after hearing all of the horror stories. My chief of staff had a very different experience in terms of what he saw, in terms of the cleanliness of facilities, in terms of Border Patrol trying to do its job, trying to make sure that people are taken care of after a long, hard journey through Mexico, making sure they do have potable water, including having water containers right outside the very cells where we were told that they didn't have water to drink, having the toothpaste, the food, the diapers, the things that are necessary to take care of people after a long, hard journey, while this body has failed to secure the border and created the very magnet that is causing these migrants to come through and be abused by cartels, while this body cowardly sits in the corner doing nothing about it. The untold stories that are going on by cartels. These are the stories. At certain station, gangs boarded the trains and demanded a toll. The rate was $100 per station. They threatened us. They said they would hold us until we could call a relative to arrange to pay. If you couldn't pay, they would throw you off the roof. Johnny was separated from his family on the train, and it's unclear what happened to his wife and children. Just 2 weeks ago, a 19-year-old woman fell from one of these trains in Tacotapal, Mexico, killing her. The train stopped near the Tabasco state town, and the woman hopped off to buy some cheese-stuffed rolls, and when the train crowded with migrants began to move again, she hustled to climb her back aboard. But the train suddenly stopped. She lost her grip and fell beneath its wheels. It dragged her 100 yards before jerking forward again in a thunder of shuddering steel. Coyotes take advantage of our system, leading women and children to the border, while along the journey, 1 in 3 women are sexually assaulted. This is the reality of what's happening between the Northern Triangle and Texas. This is what is happening because we refuse to do our job. What about Border Patrol? Sergio Tinoco was born into poverty in South Texas, as his mother remained in Mexico and he was forced to work hard labor on a farm to support himself. He served in our military for 10 years and then became a Border Patrol agent protecting the land in which he grew up in the Rio Grande Valley. He wanted this comment to be told. Quote, "The last thing this son of Mexican immigrants expected was to be compared to Nazis by America's elites for serving his nation and protecting our dangerous border." He said, "Our agents are just completely overwhelmed. They are exhausted. Not only are they exhausted out in the field, exhausted inside the stations processing, they are exhausted with all of the rhetoric that's coming down through the media and this Congress. Our own congressional leaders are vilifying our agents. These are the people holding America's front line." Add to these thoughts, and this is an article that Sergio Tinoco wrote that appeared July 5th, 2019. Add to these thoughts an exhausting 10-hour shift of seeing hundreds of illegal immigrants at the facility you work in and out in the field at temperatures over 100 degrees. Add a countless amount of mothers and fathers telling the agent that their child is sick and needs attention. Add being in a facility that can only hold 300 detainees but is currently holding 1,200, all waiting to be processed and released because of the immigration loopholes that brought them here in the first place. More so, add having just rescued a mother and child from drowning in the Rio Grande, caring for an infant after being stung by a swarm of bees in the high brush at the area where they entered the country illegally. Add the memory of finding a decomposing dead individual who was left behind by the ruthless smuggler because of an injury or exhaustion. A Border Patrol agent should be going home at the end of shift to decompress and leave all these matters behind at the workplace. Those things will be waiting for the agent again tomorrow. There will be another daring rescue, another small caravan of over 1,000 individuals to deal with and try to fit into an already overcrowded facility. There will be another set of individuals or kids requiring medical attention, which the agents will tend to. But now, with comments such as these, the Border Patrol agent must go home and hear about how their families, I've also heard those comments depicting mom or dad as a murderer of kids and their parents, how mom or dad are running gas chambers to kill all the illegal immigrants. The fact is, both parties have failed. The GOP all too often want to stand at the Rio Grande with a no trespassing sign while winking at immigrants and with a help wanted sign in the other. Meanwhile, my Democrat colleagues prefer to stand in front of chain link fences next to an empty parking lot while making up hyperbole for clicks, Twitter followers, and cynical politics. There is a path to fix this. Take out the cartels. Recognize that they're terrorist organizations. Fix our asylum laws to be welcoming but not tragically abused by cartels. End catch and release and give ICE the resources to do their jobs. President Obama sent up a bill for $760 million for ICE. Why were we not funding ICE so that we have a place to be able to put people when they come through Border Patrol? It is time for action. This Texan is not going to sit by and watch his state and Texas communities get overrun and abused because the cowards of the swamp sit idly by and cynically fail to do their job.
Thank you very much.
Am I the reason you get stoned every week now? Build up integrity, got you texting, emailing me, wanting me to feel with you. Baby, just face reality, move on.
Sometimes it's hard to face reality.